Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jimmy Phillip, and I am the course coordinator for Masters of Engineering in Mechanical and Mechanical with Business. But I'm going to be introducing both mechanical as well as mechanical with aerospace. Okay. So just as an initiation, could you please register your name and student IDs on this website, which is shown here. I have also provided that website on the chat room, so you could click that and you could register yourself. Typically on a regular day, on a regular year, we would be meeting in a hall and you would register using a QR code and we could see face to face each other. But things are different, so that's the situation here. Okay. Once again, I would repeat you to please mute your microphones because it is recorded and there will be noise coming in otherwise. Okay. All right. I can see some people have not muted it. That's the reason I'm telling you this. Okay, so let's get started. Welcome everybody to University of Melbourne and semester 2 especially. So the plan of this presentation is to give you a brief idea about the different course structures as well as how the typical lectures would look like and how the things would change. All right. Okay, so this is a Masters of Engineering, and there are two ways students would typically enter in. One is the lateral entry, and this next one is the pathway students. Pathway students who have finished 3 years of University of Melbourne undergraduate, and now they will do 2 more years to go for their masters. So the lateral entry is 300 points. So if your master's is 3 years, so that will be 300 points. So each year is 100 points. There are some students who are doing 250 points. That means 2.5 years. And there are some students who would be just doing it for 2 years, means they already have accumulated extra 100 points credit. You would see it on your transcript already. So they would do 200 points to finish their masters in 2 years. So just for note, as I mentioned here, for mechanical and mechanical was business, I am the course coordinator, and here is my email address. So please send me an email. If you have issues, if you have questions, just send me an email. For mechanical with aerospace, it's Simon Illingworth, and send an email to Simon if you have issues in any of the course adjustments or course variations or anything to do with, send an email to Simon. You can always email me also, and I can forward it to Simon or to the relevant person who might answer your questions. Okay, so that's general course structure. So there are important dates for semester 2, which is what I want to get to. And so these are the important dates which you have to remember. And please keep a note of this in your diaries. So 14th of August is the last day to enroll in standard semester 2 subjects via UniMelb. So if you come on 15th of August, you won't be able to enroll in the subject. So you have to decide quickly. So you have some time before you can enroll. Okay. And 21st September is the last, is the new standard semester 2 census date. Means you could back out, okay, before 21st of September. And 16th of October is the last day to withdraw from semester 2 subjects without incurring a fail grade. To remember that if you if you're registered in a subject after 16th of October, you would get a grade. And that grade will go into your calculation of your GPA or the final marks. However, if you come outside, if you are till 16th of October and you feel that this course is going to be too difficult for me, you can come out of before 16th of October, and that grade will not go into your transcript. So if you fail the subject or something, your grades won't change. All right. Furthermore, 11th of December is the semester 2 results for final release date. I'll come back to. So these dates are very important. So 21st September, I would keep as the important date for myself, the census date before, so that you can leave. So you try out the subject till 21st of September and leave the subject before that, so that you know, so you don't pay extra fees. You don't pay any fees. You just leave the subject. Okay. So that's the best date. You should remember. 16th of October is towards the end. All right. Any questions thus far? Anyone? Hi, Shivam. Do you have any questions? Your microphone is on. So I would request again people to put their microphones on mute mode if you don't want to ask a questions. So there is a mute button on your microphone and use that. Okay. All right. So so there are some all the course structures are in the handbook. For example, mechanical is business and aerospace are in these handbooks. I would like to show you how they look like, and you should consult those handbooks. For example, this is the mechanical handbook. Mechanical handbook. You will see that is my name here and the structure of the subjects, and you can see first 100 points, which you are not worried about. Second 100 points, systems, which subjects you can take here. If you click here to semester 2 only, you can see which semester subjects you can take in semester 2 or semester 1. And these are group 1 electives. And then you can go to, you have taken extra subject from here, and this is the last third 100 points. Third 100 points means the last year of your master's. So you would have, you take a capstone project and then group 1 elective and group 2 elective. So for example, here it would tell you 50 points from these electives and the rest of the points from the group 2 elective. So you have to plan your master's quite carefully, which subjects do you like. So I would strongly recommend you to go through these websites, see which subjects you like and select which you like, because not all subjects run on both semesters. So some subjects are running on both semesters, like this creative innovative engineering and communication subjects. However, some subjects run only in semester 1 or semester 2, especially the group 2 electives, which are, there's a lot of group 2 electives and you might be interested in some subjects. So you have to mix and match to make sure that you are taking the interesting subjects which you like. Okay. So that's for mechanical, and for mechanical with business, you have something similar. It's quite similar to mechanical. However, of course, you have some business subjects. And of course, then you have mechanical with aerospace. So you have extra electives for those subjects. Okay, so make sure that you carefully look at those electives and consider them. Okay. So coming back, so those handbook entries are quite important, and you should carefully look at those. Okay, managing enrollment. So typically the enrollment is managed by online. You can manage if you need to change your enrollment. Let's say if you want to do some variations, you can go to this enrollment variations and do the changes, and you can select the subjects. One important thing which I want to tell you is you have to do an online request. And the way it works is this thing, okay? I will tell you what Stop 1 is in a few minutes time. Stop 1 is a place where they have where you update your records, you do course planning. So it's right now you can call them up. Typically you would go there and you could do it. And you can enroll in subjects. Okay, so the Stop 1 has all the records of all your academic records. So the program coordinators, like I am the program coordinator, we provide you advice and approvals. So the Stop 1 have all the records. I have no records of anybody, no students, it's for privacy concerns. So I might ask you to send me your statement of results. Okay, so the first thing, if you want to do any changes, like you say, look, I don't like this elective, there's some problem with this elective, I want to change the electives. So could you please, so you would go to Stop 1. So that's the first step. Go to Stop 1 for initial information, and they will tell you, they might solve you the problem, all the problems initially. However, if they cannot solve the problem, you come back to me, or sometimes the Stop 1 representative might tell you, please contact your course coordinator and they would need an approval from me. So you would send me the email, or most importantly, you send me the PDF of your statement of result, which you can download from your student portal. So it just tells me that you are a registered student. These are the subjects you're doing, and these are the subjects for which you have already got credits for. And tell me exactly what you want the approval for and send it to me. And I will send you back an email saying that this is approved, or I will give you some suggestions. And you take that email, that's step 3, to stop one, and they will fix things for you. Okay, that's the typical scenario. Now, a typical semester would look something like this. A typical UOM, most subjects, semester 1, semester, they run in semesters. However, we have few subjects in summer and one in winter also. So that's a very compressed 6 weeks. So you could finish your course by taking a summer or a winter also. So typical subjects would run for 12 weeks teaching, okay, 12 weeks. So the whole semester is divided into weeks. And 1 week in between that, 1 week you have a mid-semester break. So you have total 13 semesters, 12 weeks, total 13 weeks, 12 weeks of teaching, and 1 week of mid-semester break. And at the end of your semester, at the end of the 13 weeks, you have 1 week of break. Okay, for study break, that's 1 week of study break, a SWOT WAC week, and then 3 weeks of final exam periods. Okay. And so, as I mentioned, there could be summer and winter subjects. It's compact, delivered in 6 weeks. And most are by lectures, you have workshops, tutorials, and project-based. And this time, they would all be online. Okay, so this could be different. Of course, lecture recording happens every time if you are in a class-based, but this time, of course, the lecture recordings would be there simply because if it is online, okay? So that's the typical subjects you would have. And assessments means how you would be graded. Most likely you would have continuous assessments. So you would have assignments, you'll have quizzes, you'll have laboratory reports, workshop reports, projects, and they would constitute different percentage of marks. And each subject course web page will give you the breakup of the marks. And typically during the first lecture itself, the lecturer might tell you, give you information about what will be the breakup of each part. Okay, and then typically most cases you would have a final exam, which would be a slightly higher percentage. However, there could be some exams of some subjects where there are no final exams. Okay, so be careful and look at all the different requirements. One last thing is a hurdle requirement, which I think I should tell you. A hurdle means that exams are hurdle. So if you have to pass the exam, typically you would need 50% marks. And hurdle means that you have to pass the exam separately. So for example, let's say the exam is only 40%, okay? 40% and 60% is assignments. So you could pass you can get 50% of marks just by passing all the assignments. Let's say you got 60 out of 60. So you've already passed the subject in the typical way, and only 40% is the exam. However, if there is a hurdle requirement, it means that you have to pass the exam separately. So let's say you don't attend the exam, or you got 0 in the exam, and even though you got 60% in your assignments, you would still fail the course or fail the subject. Okay, so you have to pass the exam separately. So you have to get 50% or how much ever it is in the exam to pass it. So that's one way to encourage students to not just focus only on the assignments, also, however, but also to focus on the exams. Okay, there are strict deadlines for all the assignments and quizzes, and there is a department policy which is typically uploaded on the internet about the deadlines. Like if you are late by so many hours, or if you're late by 1 day or 1 week, how much marks you would lose. Because there's a standard policy for all the subjects. It's the same policy across the Department of Mechanical Engineering. And extensions could be granted, and you can get the extensions from directly the course coordinators or subject coordinators or lecturers who are teaching you. Send them an email. If you have a good reason, they will give you an extension, okay? But make sure you have good reasons for those. Any questions thus far? Do you have any questions? Anybody? Typically, these sessions are quite interactive, and you can. And unfortunately, this time it's not that interactive because I'm just on a Zoom meeting. However, you can unmute yourself, show me a video, and you can ask me questions. Okay, anytime. Just stop in between. So, Jimmy, I have a question. Just ask me. Okay.
Sorry, I have a question about the subjects. So are we allowed to pick the elective subject which are not on the list?
No.
Oh, so we can't do like civil elective. We have to do mechanical.
Yes, if you're registered for a master's in engineering with mechanical.
Yeah.
Yes, so you would have to do mechanical engineering subjects, yes.
Okay.
You would
And
see that, however, on the group 2 electives, you have some civil engineering subjects which are part of it, some biomedical engineering subjects which are part of it, some electrical engineering.
yeah.
But not all of the civil or the mechanic or electrical or biomedical, only few.
Okay. And also like in the handbook, it says like for group 1 is minimum 50 points.
Yep.
And that's mean for group 2, we can do like 25 points.
That's correct.
But in the
correct.
study plan, it says we can only do like 12.5 for group 2.
Could you please repeat that?
So in a study plan,
yep,
it says we can only do one subject from group 2 elective.
No, that shouldn't be the case. You should be able to do 2 subjects from group 2.
It says 12.5.
It says that for mine as well.
Pardon?
It says that for mine as well.
It says what, sorry?
It says the same for me.
Oh, right. So if I go back, close the... so do you want me to open the handbook for you? Just to show you?
The handbook says is 25 points, but like the thing is in our study plan, we can only choose one group 2 elective.
Okay, send me an email, a stop one, say that you've spoken to me, and then we think it should be 25 points. Okay.
Yeah.
And if they say that, look, no, this is what we say, then send me an email.
Okay.
Okay, send me an email. That should be okay.
Right.
All right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Examinations. Typically, this is where you go and sit in the examination. This is the hall. Unfortunately, this time the exams would be online, as you might know, and the exams results would be released on 11th of December 2021. So that's the final date. Okay, very important to remind you that plagiarism, collusion or working in groups is not allowed, and there are very strict policies for it. That it simply means that if it's your work, you have to show you can't copy somebody else's work. If it is, and if you copy somebody's work, you have to acknowledge it, say that look, you have done it. There could be a legitimate reason where you have to work in group. Collusion means, you cannot take somebody else's work and show it as your work. Working groups, you might be working in a group of 4 people, and then it simply means that you have to contribute equally or contribute to your part. You cannot be in a position that you're not working and you say that you have contributed it. That's working in groups. So you should avoid all these things. There is an important academic skills session on 28th July. That's tomorrow, 1 to 2 p.m. And there's a Zoom link here. And I think it's a very good idea to have a look at that. And I think you should go. I think there are a couple of nice strategies they suggest you. Okay, so I would strongly recommend that you go there for that meeting. All right, other aspects of uni life, I thought I should say a few things at least. as of now, it's out of question, but hopefully we will not be in this situation for too long. And then you should socialize, you should go out and explore different social activities. I should also mention the Mechanical Engineering Students Association, MESS. Although I don't think they are such a mess, but they are pretty good society. They organize plenty of other things, and they have an online forum also. I strongly would suggest you go to the Mechanical Students Association and Mechatronics Association, both. During these times, it's much more difficult to interact with colleagues and friends. So I would suggest that they are doing some online workshops also to encourage people to come together, and you might get some nice tips from them than from lecturers or academics like myself. They might give you more practical information which might be of interest to you. Okay, so I would strongly encourage. Also, there are things beyond academia in engineering. There are research components. So you would have a strong research component for capstones project. You would have 2 semesters worth capstones, so that 2 subjects, 12.5 and 12.5 credits each. So they could be research components. There are advanced subjects which you might like to select. Okay, and sometimes there are extracurricular activities attached to specific research laboratories. So you could directly approach a lecturer. If you like a particular research area, you could directly approach the person and ask them if they have a position in the research laboratory. Many times they have. Sometimes they pay you for summer or winter to work there for a couple of weeks, probably a month or 2 months even. So you could work there as summer's internship. I think the department provides sometimes scholarships. Department, and then the laboratory head also has to put in some money, and so that you could do a summer research internship. And of course, if you are interested in higher, does anybody have a question? No, okay. So if you are interested, of course, I don't have to tell you that you can continue your degree towards MPhil or PhD or research work. So if you are interested, or if you are thinking about these kind of higher degree research works, it is a good idea to get into a summer research pretty quickly, or winter research, and select the capstones very carefully. In fact, capstones and the advanced subject has to be selected very carefully. You should not wait, especially a word about capstones, you should not wait till the last moment to select the capstone. Typically what happens is that capstone projects are a lot so the department asks us to give you capstone projects, and somebody in the department will collect all the capstone projects and they will put it on the internet. And you will be given a date. Okay, by this date you have to select all the capstone project, and you will look at the capstone project. You can select them. Okay, and that is a good idea. However, I would suggest that if you are interested in a particular area, a particular research, or a particular field, you should just approach the lecturer before even the capstone. Tell them, look, I am interested in this area and I would like to do a capstone project with you or in your group. Would you have positions? And that's perfectly fine. And what they can do then is that they say, okay, I like this student and this student is interested. So they would also already make a capstone project for you and put it on the internet, but that project is already allotted to you. And you could even start working on the capstone even before the semester starts. And in fact, many good students would start the project in the summer itself so that they get a head start and they continue to work on it. So that's a great idea, okay? So be careful when you're selecting capstones, spend your time on this and don't wait till the last moment to get otherwise you'll be left with projects which nobody else wants, okay? You don't want to be in that situation. All right, any questions on capstones or any other subjects or anything else? Okay, all right. Okay, so I should also mention that there is an exchange program available, like some students from University of Melbourne can go to different other countries. Yes, sorry, I think there is a question, yes? Is there a question? Wu, do you have a question? No. Okay. All right. So students have an opportunity to go abroad, and current situations will not allow you, unfortunately, but typically you would have an opportunity if you want to go abroad and study for 6 months, and then you can get those credits and you can come back, and that will form part of the University of Melbourne transcript. Okay, so and you can get credits for that, and the exchange coordinator is from the department. It's Tasve Mola. You should contact him for more information. So these are the different universities, and you can find it on the web page. Different universities across the world where you can go and get credits and come back, and then so you don't have to finish all the 12.5 here. You can go somewhere else and finish that course, and we can put that into your transcript and you will get a credit for that. Okay, the last information is about Stop One, and so this is a place where you get where you would go for most of the work. Okay, for example, they have a huge variety of services they offer. Support services for international students, students with disability, indigenous students. If you have an elite athlete, they will give you support. They would look after all the administrative services, for example, fees, transcripts, scholarship, guidance. So I think you should be talking to them. And as I mentioned, if you want enrollment variations, like course planning, they can help you plan the course for you. Talk to them or talk to me after that. Okay. Enrollment assistance, you can't enroll into subjects. Some subjects have got quotas, some has got issues. So all those things could be fixed. Okay. And special considerations. Sometimes what happens is that you have some during the exams, you have during the exam period or during the assignment period, you are sick. You've got some personal difficulties and you need some extension. So you need some special consideration. They will take care of it. Or you write to the subject coordinator or to me. Okay, and student equity. I think they also have some skills and development services like career support, academic skills, student connect, and of course, as I mentioned, student abroad and exchange programs. I think they have some kind of service also for housing, financial aid, personal safety, and counseling also. I know from personal experience that I know of some students who have taken the counseling services and they found it quite useful. It is a bit unusual for some students to go for a counseling session. And I've had a student who had, he thought he didn't need counseling, and he was struggling. Personal struggle, it could be personal struggle, it could be academic struggle, it could be struggles because of many things. However, the counseling services did provide great help. So I would strongly encourage, if you want to have some help, I think it's good to get help. Talk to me. Talk to a subject coordinator, talk to your friends, and especially these situations, you should get as much help as you can, okay, and as much as possible. So actually, you should ask for help, and we can help you out how we can. Okay, so Stop One is a pretty good place, and they've got other information also. They have locations. You can call them. Of course, that's the only way right now. Online chat, I think they have. I have not tried the online chat, but try calling them, and it works pretty well. They are located right now. The location is probably less relevant, but if the university opens, whenever it will, they are located here. This is the Parkville campus. This is South Bank, and my guess is that you would be interested in this Parkville campus, which is on the corner of Grattan and the Swanston Street. It is, you can't miss it. Okay. They have health services also, /health services. I would strongly suggest to go and check these websites. For example, chaplaincy services. This is an excellent place. Helpful online pages, student.unimelb.edu.au/balance and /finder. You would see a host of services presented there, and you might be interested in one of those services. Okay, so I would strongly encourage at least go to those websites, have a look what they have it there. Oh, sorry, I think there's somebody on a chat. Okay. Okay, do you have anybody has got any questions on credits? Who are young. I think you had some questions. You have something on the chat. You have any questions on credits or anything? You can ask me directly.
Hey Jimmy, Rahul.
Yep.
What if I have to, take, if I'm interested in a subject probably, and it goes more than the 200 points, can I do that? For example, can I take more than 50 credits a semester? Does that work?
Okay, so typically you're allowed only 50 credits a semester. If you want to go beyond 50 credits, it's called overloading. Okay, so if you write down overloading, OVER, overloading on Unimail website, there are criteria of when you can overload, when we can allow you to take more than 4 subjects a semester. And typically one of the conditions is that you should be in your last semester, that you need 1 subject left before you complete your degree, and you need to overload. Otherwise, it's rarely allowed to overload. It's typically capped at 4 subjects a semester.
Okay. I asked this because, I'm sorry,
Yes.
I asked this because, no, we have a 25 credit subject of internship, and
Right.
if I get an internship and I have to do some more subjects that I like on the electives,
Yep.
if that's possible, I like to know that.
Also, you would say, okay, 25 points of electives, and you can take 2 more subjects. That makes 50 points, right?
Yeah. What if I need to take 3 subjects?
But do you have a reason why you would like to take another subject?
I mean, more than 2 subjects looked interesting when I looked at them. So
Right.
I'd like to.
Typically, you wouldn't. No, you would only be allowed to overload. There's a standard university-wide policy. It's not mechanical engineering policy. That if you have to overload, there are a couple of conditions. One, you should have at least 70% score before in the previous semesters. You should have never failed in any subject before, at least the previous semester. And you should be, the third thing is that you should be in your final year, and you should have only 1 subject left to finish. And then you said, okay, I don't want to waste 1 more semester just for 1 subject. I want to do it now.
Okay.
So you have to satisfy those conditions if you have to overload or take more subjects than what is being prescribed.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Jimmy, I have a relevant question.
Yep.
How about underloading if we take less than 4 subjects?
That is possible. Yes. Yes. That is not an issue at all.
That's not an issue. All right.
Not an issue at all. But that is not an issue at all. Underloading is, many students do that because many students here work, and they say, okay, look, I can't manage more than 3 subjects or something. That's the best I can manage, and I would like to take less subject. That's fine. But be careful. When you do that, what happens is that then your total degree extends, it becomes longer, and then you have to mix and make sure that not all subjects are offered in semester 1 as well as in semester 2. So you have to plan it more carefully then. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, that most of the subjects I saw were offered only in semester 1 and 2. You cannot take subjects in summer or winter, right?
There are subjects. Okay,
Yeah,
unfortunately, there are not many subjects. I know there is a summer subject which Denin teaches on neurological and technologies, which is in summer, and there is a winter subject called helicopter design.
Okay.
So unfortunately, there are not many subjects. There are only a few subjects which are in summer or winter, but there are 1 or 2. Yeah. So you have to be more careful when you take less subjects. Make sure that you don't miss your interesting subjects. Otherwise, your course period will get extended unnecessarily. So you have to be careful when you're planning. Okay.
Right.
So the best thing is to sit down, plan everything properly. And if you have questions, stop one, or can send me your list. Look, Jimmy, this is what I want to do. How does it look like? Does it look okay? Okay.
Okay.
And then I can probably suggest you maybe try this one, try that one. And you can tell me, look, this is my interest. I want to do, for example, I want to do work in this area, and these are the subjects I'm thinking. And what do you think? Is this a good idea? I would say, yeah, this is a good idea. And maybe try these subjects, maybe try those subjects. I might suggest you something.
Thank you. Perfect. You will share your contact details with us?
Yes, it should be on the third slide. Jimmy P. Or just search for my name, Jimmy Philip at Unimelb. You will find my contact address.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, it's on the first one of the earlier pages on this slide.
I joined slightly late, so I missed it. Sorry.
No worries. Just search for Jimmy Philip.
Yeah.
Okay, perhaps I can show once more to quickly, because I'm towards the end of the presentation anyway. These are the contact details here.
Oh, thank you.
Send me an email or for mechanical and mechanical with business. And if you're doing aerospace, send an email to Simon. However, I can also help. I wish you just send me an email and I can forward it to the right person also. Okay. All right. So
Right.
I'm towards the end of the presentation almost. So this is stop one, which can help you. Stop one should be a good friend to help you with other things. Another important thing is special considerations. This happens unexpected or unforeseen circumstances. If you're sick, as I mentioned, you can't attend something, you have to submit an application within 4 days. Okay, so make sure that you have, and you have special circumstances, illness, bereavement, okay, carer duties, and make sure you have a letter from the doctor or the psychologist, and can be helped. Okay. A special consideration based on disability also. Many students, it is very common actually to have extra time available for students who have got some need extra time because of any reason, special reasons during examination. Let's say the examination is 2 hours and it's not uncommon to have students getting 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 30 minutes if you need so. Okay, or if you need an extra day or extra 2 days for your assignment because of something, just let people know, let the lecturer know that, look, you're applying for it, and look at these websites, book an appointment, and they can help you with all these things. Okay, so stop one, they have Facebook and Twitter. I think they have some updates. I have never tried it. I must say that I don't know about these ones, but I'm sure you're probably better. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. The idea is to just introduce myself to you, give you a brief introduction about what we are, how the subjects are going on, and if you have any questions, so that you can put a face towards a name. And if you have any questions, I can answer you now, or whenever you have a question, just send me an email.
Hi, Jimmy. I just had a
Sure.
question about the internships.
Yep.
Do you think it's better to do the 25-point internship or like get a self-sourced one so you can do more Group 1 electives?
Look, if you are interested in Group 1 electives especially, take the Group 1 electives. And internship, what you could also do is that you can also make a capstone as an internship also. What it means is that a capstone, there are couple of different kinds of capstone projects. One is a research-driven capstone, like a lecturer would post a list of capstone projects, which is from a research laboratory. A lecturer could post a capstone project, which is from an industry. Or in this case, which you're mentioning, you could come up with a project which you like from an industry or by yourself, saying that, look, this is a project which is from an industry. I want to do it. Is there an academic who can support me? That's also possible. And in that case, you can do a capstone with an industry. So you would have an industry supervisor. You would have an academic supervisor from inside, and then you will do your internship in the industry. Oh, it's not an internship we'll call it a capstone project, but it has some slightly different requirements, but that's another option if you don't want to take the internship. Does it answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, it's difficult actually whether you want to take an internship. Yeah, if you find interesting subjects in Group 1 elective, and if you want to do them, but you still want to do something in the industry, so capstone could also be an opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Any other questions?
I have a question regarding timetable.
Yes, please.
I enrolled in a subject mechanical systems design, but the one of the labs there is full. I have submitted a form on the timetables website, but I'm still waiting for their response.
Sorry, so could you explain me what is the issue here? So you
Um,
have a
mechanic,
mechanical systems design?
yes,
Yeah.
and lab 2 for the mechanical system design, all the slots are full there
In the workshop.
in the workshop. Yeah.
That should not be a problem. Send an email to the lecturer, mechanical systems. Is it Colin? Do you know who the
I
lecturer
couldn't find
is?
it. It's not yet published.
Okay, so it must be Colin. So it shouldn't be a problem. I don't think everybody gets a chance in the workshop. It can never happen that you will be registered in a course and you won't get a chance in a workshop. It's not a problem. Typically, the workshop won't happen immediately on the first day itself. It'll take some time. Send an email to the lecturer. You can see the name of the lecturer from the handbook. Handbook would have the name of who is teaching it. And you can also copy me an email, and you can send an email to Carol also. Carol, she is the, she looks after all the subjects in the department. Caroline Barry. But the first point of contact would be the lecturer. Yeah, but I don't think you would have an issue. I think if it's not, they would open up more slots. So they typically look at how many students have registered. And if more students are registering, they open up more slots so that everybody could be accommodated. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I've got a question as well.
Sure.
It's about the timetable. So I'm enrolled in the subject, Fluid Dynamics, MCN 9008. So when I was looking at the handbook, the class schedules in the handbook, I saw that there's like tutorials, lectures, and then practicals as well, right? Practical 1 and 2. But the other day when I was accessing my timetable, suddenly the practical 1 and practical 2, it disappears from the timetable. So I'm not sure if that's intentional or if something's wrong.
It could be intentional because depending on, so this semester is, as you know, that we are not allowed to go into the physical laboratory.
Yeah.
So it's taught by Nick. Nick is an excellent lecturer. Actually, he's probably one of the best in the department. So I'm not sure how Nick is going to conduct the laboratory. It could be that this year they're doing something different with the laboratory. Maybe just, I don't know how they're going to conduct the laboratory. Most probably with the data, giving you some data or doing some virtual laboratory. I don't know. But if it has gone off automatically, then I don't think you should worry about it. That's centrally done, I think.
Okay, all right.
They must have taken care of it. And I'm sure in the first lecture, typically that's what happens. The lecturer would tell you what are the laboratories, especially this situation where they have to explain you very clearly how the laboratories are going to change this time.
Okay.
And they should give you information. Okay.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? No? So if you don't have any questions, then no more questions. By the way, you can always ask me. Okay, send me an email if you have issues, or call me on my office phone number. I can receive it. Although I am working from home, I can get phone calls from my office. It's just been redirected to my mobile phone, so I can still pick up phone calls. Okay. Or send me an email if you have issues. If you have the first person of, as I mentioned, typically you would have to go to stop one, and they would be the first people help you. Send an email to lecturers, send an email to me, and that should help. Okay. So no more questions. If you have no more questions, I wish you all the very best for your semester as you're starting the semester and as you're starting the time here. Some of you may be starting for the first time here. So wish you all the best and hope to stay in touch with you as the semester starts. And once, if we come out of this situation and if the university starts opening, we would definitely have a get together. That's what we have every semester. We have a typically get together with coffee and cakes, and hopefully we'll have that. All right. So thank you very much, and take care.
Sorry, would you mind if I ask you for your number, please?
Oh yes, sure.